Good evening, and welcome to Episode 6 of Mortar and Pestle Productions Radio Classics. Tonight, the final installment of our three-part serial presentation of William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Tonight's cast features Judith Herman as the Messenger, Brian Fairbrother as the Doctor, Kyle Frank as Macbeth, Sean Kalaki as Malcolm and the Murderer, Riley Ann as Lady Macbeth, Oral Speakwell as Macduff, Scott Fairbairn as Lennox and Seward, Stephen Vanny as Ross, Walid Hassanzeh as Angus and the son of Macduff, Rachel Salzberg as Lady Macduff and Gentlewoman, and Caedmon Ricker Wilson as Seaton and Menteith. Without further ado, we proudly present the conclusion of Mortar and Pestle's production of Macbeth.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife. To leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. I take my leave of you, my pretty cousin. Blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father is dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Every one that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
And the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers now to beat the honest men and hang up them.
God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkest.
Bless you, Ferdane. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely woman's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayest find him.
He is a traitor!
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What? Yeg!
No.
Young cry of treachery!
He has killed me, Mother! Run away, I pray you!
Murder! Oh no! Murder! Murder! Murder!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall and birth them. Which no more no widow's howl, New orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell.
I have lost my hopes.
Why, in that rawness left you wife and child. Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, poor country. Fare thee well, lord. I would not be the villain thou thinkest, not for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the riches to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps. It bleeds. And each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. Here, from gracious England have I offered of goodly thousands by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean. And when I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust and my desire than such an one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and the fall of many kings. Fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels, and this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than the summer seeming lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet, do not fear. Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak! I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern. No, not to live. O nation miserable, an untitled tyrant blood is sceptred. When shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee oftener upon her knees than on her feet died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good, truth, and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power. I put myself in thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman. Never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, and delight no less in truth than my life. My first false speaking was this upon myself: what I am truly is thine, and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed? Before thy here approach, old Seward, with 10,000 warlike men already at a point, was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile. See, who comes here?
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
I have a gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God! Betimes remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country. Almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
Oh, relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goes it?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witness the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time to help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight, to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Seward, and 10,000 men. An older and a better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'er-fraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence. My wife killed, too.
I have said,
Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All, my pretty one. Did you say all? All? What, my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland to myself within my sword's length, set him. And if he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it last she walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
Oh, you may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continuing this a quarter of an hour.
Yet, here is a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot, out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
A thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will his hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all with the starting.
Go to. Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
There's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. No.
Oh, what a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged. Pray God it be, sir. This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. 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 Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she now go to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macbeth. Revenge is burning them, for their dear causes would to the bleeding, and the grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnhamwood shall we well meet them. That way they are coming. Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders ticking on his hands? Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief?
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. We march towards Burnham!
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham would remove to Dunsinane. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never shake with fear. Seaton! I'm sick at heart when I behold... Seaton, I say! This push will cheer me ever, or deceit me now. I have lived long enough, and that which should accompany old age is honor, love, obedience, troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead curses, not loud but deep. Breath, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Seaton!
What's your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. You, scur the country round. And you, hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How's your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written trouble of the brain which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs, I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Seaton, send out. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to a very echo that should applaud again.
Aye, my good lord.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death in vain till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand. The chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this before us?
Wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bow, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery ere in report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope. For where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt. And none serve with him but constrained things whose heart are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, feared to be, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Creeps in this heady pace from day to day, the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. Poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is the tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say then.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. Fear not, till Burnham wood do come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. There is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. Imagine to be aweary of the sun. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind, come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now near enough! Your leafy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall, with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macbeth and we shall take upon us what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
Tyrant, show thy face. Thou beest slain with no stroke of mine. My wife and children's ghosts will be still. Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else, I've avoided thee. Get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. Your voice is in my sword, thou bloodier villain that terms can give thee out.
Ah! Thou losest labor. As easy mayst thou in trenchant air, with thy keen sword impress as make me bleed. let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macbeth was from his mother's womb timely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tell me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze at a time. We'll have thee painted on fallen under it. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, cold enough.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny. This, and what needful else, calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure. So, thanks to all at once, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
And that concludes Mortar and Pestle's production of Macbeth. Join us again at 6 p.m. 2 Sundays from now as we return to our regular schedule with The Monkey's Paw. This radio presentation has been a socially distanced production. Its participants recorded remotely and mixed at MMP headquarters here in Toronto. Be sure to tune in to the MMP podcast channel for new episodes. MMP podcasts can be found on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, and YouTube. Please subscribe to show your support and make more original programming possible. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, stay tuned, and good night.